Okay, task number 3 is just refining what we've done so far. We've created that credit card class according to that UML diagram. And now we're making sure we follow the correct rules here. Constructor takes 2 parameters. And remember that we want our credit card to have its own copy of credit limit and balance. So we don't want to do what I initially did to make it easy to use. I just say, oh, the limit you give me, I'm going to assign that to my credit limit. We want our own version rather than referencing with this parameter that's being sent to us, which may be a variable that's going to change. We want to have our own copy of limit. So right here we're going to do, instead of limit, we're going to say new money using our copy constructor that we just built. Now that will return a money object with the same values as limit. Do the same thing for credit card owner. We don't want to take that owner. We want to, let's see if they want us to do that with the owner. Let's check. Oh, balance. We're going to be given a limit, balance. Okay, so that's good. We're making a copy, starting with the balance of 0, making a new limit. Okay, let's go back here. We want to get the balance and credit limit. And remember, since we're returning things passed by reference, we don't want to expose our private variables. We want to make a copy of our private variables and pass them back for balance and credit limit. So what did I mean by that? Over here, we don't want to return the reference to our private variable. We want to return a new money of the same values as our credit limit. Now it's making a copy of credit limit, not returning a reference to our private variable. Same thing here. We want to return a new money object of the same values. There's our copy constructor. That's the whole reason we built that copy constructor. Make a copy of a money type. Okay, so that is done. Those 2 things we've just done. That's the accessor method, otherwise known as the getter. Get information about the owner, but in the form of a string that can be printed out. So we're just going to return the person's toString for my get owner. Okay, so back here, get personal, there it is, owner toString. So that one we've already done. And the owner, we'll go back and look at person, and look at there, it's toString, print the first name and last name, separated by a space, and then a comma, plus their address, which is a toString. So address has the toString right here. And there's the documentation for it. Now they use a different format of comments. It's your choice on how you do your documentation. But don't forget to do that documentation. Okay, so back to here now. Now we need a charge. We add the amount passed to the balance. And then, but we only add the amount passed if it will not exceed the credit limit. So we have to do a check to see if what we add exceeds the credit limit. Then we'll do the add. If it doesn't, if it does exceed the credit limit, then we'll print an error message. So add the amount passed. First we'll check, and then check it against the credit limit. Okay, so back to our credit. Has a credit card? Yeah. To our credit card class. There it is, charge. So I want to take this amount. First I need to calculate the new amount to see if it exceeds our credit limit. So what do we have for comparing money to money? Let's see what we have here. We have an equals. We already have a compare to. Let's see what the compare to does. Let's see. It will return 1 if the dollars in the amount I have is greater than the amount being passed as a parameter. And do we have an add? Here is our add. Okay, so it will return a money value if I add them together, and then I can look, compare if it's greater. Let's see how this all works. I have an add method, and once I have an add method, I can then do a compare to another amount. Okay, so let's go. Well, let's see how I'm going to use that. So down here in the credit card, where I'm going to charge, I want to do if, remember, if 1 is equal to, let's see, amount, oh, well, let's see, we have this dot balance dot add the amount dot compare to, and its parameter will be credit limit. I could have put this dot credit limit. Now let's see what that means and read it from I guess this one you kind of read from left to right. I calculate my balance, adding it to the amount they're asking to charge, and then I take and compare that to my credit limit. And based on what I see in the money code, I see that when the value is compared, when this is compared to the amount, if it is greater, look what it returns, a 1. That's why I chose a 1 right here. If what I get back from this is a 1, that means the balance added to the amount is greater than my credit limit. So that means I've got a problem. Then I will return an error. System.out.println charge, something like charge refused credit, I'll say over credit limit. Okay, that's what it will return if what they add will exceed their credit limit. Otherwise, I will just do balance dot equals balance dot add the amount that they want to charge. This returns my balance becomes a new object that is created by adding the amount to my current balance. Okay? Now if I make a payment, that means I subtract how much they paid from my balance. Let's take a look at the specs. Payment, subtract the amount passed from my balance. And my balance can go negative. So what do we have for methods? Let's go ahead and do balance equals balance dot subtract. It has a subtract method that takes a money method and it filled in the amount for me. And and semicolon. NetBeans, when you hit semicolon, automatically jumps to the end. Not so with my Eclipse, unless I configure it. There we go. When I make a payment, I automatically subtract the amount from my balance. So the balance is the amount of dollars I owe to the bank. Credit credit limit is how much that can reach. Okay, and now I'm going to run this as a, oh, now it knows to run as a Java application. Let's see what I get for output. Look at that. It all appears to be working. Okay, now if I double click on the tab and run it again, it will show the output here. So double clicking on your tab just kind of rearranges how things appear. So it looks like I've got it done. Not done yet though. I am getting this output, but what's left to do? To put my comments at the top and every source file. Say, hey, these I think they may have a comment. Yeah, you may not. At least put your name in the credit card that you created. Put your comments description up above there with your name. The others, since, well, we did modify these. Anything that you touched and modified, you need to put a comment at the top that you have modified this based on the instructions. There we go.